Hey, what you say, food family? Mike here, and welcome back to the channel for another great culinary adventure. Thanksgiving is upon us, which means it's time to wake up super early, throw your turkey in the oven, and several hours later end up with something so dry it takes a gallon of gravy just to wash it down. Well, we're changing it up this year, folks. I'm going to show you how to dry brine your bird, deep fry it to perfection so it's juicy meat, extra crispy skin without fail every time. It just can't be beat. So if you're tired of that dry turkey every year, or just want to learn how to deep fry one without burning your house down, stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Let's get cooking. Alright folks, we'll get today's video kicked off by talking about our equipment. Now as you see in front of me here, I got my trusty aluminum pot. I've been deep frying turkeys for about 15 years or more. As you can see, it's well loved, well used, but it's clean on the inside, trust me. Now I only fry turkeys in this to make sure there's no cross-contamination with anything else. Don't have to worry about any odd flavors in there, but hey, you do what you want to do. Go out there, buy one of these, invest in it. They're not that expensive, folks. But that being said, now you'll see, well, you may not be able to see it, but there's actually a line about right here etched into my pot that says maximum fill line. Take note, folks. Tip 1, how not to burn your house down. Do not put more oil in your pot over that line. Pretty simple. Now we're going to take it a step further today and double down and actually measure how much oil we're going to be using. So the first thing you're going to do, open your turkey up and take out the plastic, all the packaging and everything. We're also going to be removing the neck. You don't need that, but save that. It's great for making stocks or soups. Out of the way, I don't need to worry about it today. Also, the bag of giblets. Now, a lot of people use this for their dressing or whatnot. We're not needing it today, so boom, out of the way. So now I've got my turkey in my pot. I've gone ahead and put it on the stand, as you can see. Now, there are different types of these stands. Some are baskets with a bunch of holes in it. There's a stand like that. Whatever comes with your pot, it'll work just fine. I kind of like this stand. It holds it upright. A little easier to clean too at the end of the day. The pots with all the holes, you got to scrub on those things. Kind of a pain in the butt. But that being said, now we got our turkey on our stand in our pot. We're going to fill this up with cold water till the turkey is covered. Pull the turkey out, and where that water line is in your pot is how much oil you need to use. Go figure. It should be at or below that maximum fill line. Now that being said, you're not going to cook a giant turkey by deep frying it. You want to limit that. My pot actually says no bigger than 18 pounds. I would say don't go anything larger than 14 pounds. These things cook at 3 to 4 minutes, depending on what size it is. Make 2 smaller ones. Do not try to cook a 15, 16 pound turkey deep fried. That's how you're going to burn your house down, because the oil is going to overfill and cause a big fire. So let me fill this pot up with water. It'll also rinse the cavity out of the bird, get any of the extra blood and everything out of there, clean it up, and we'll come right back. We'll double down, checking our oil level we'll need to use when we go to fry this thing. So let's get this done. We'll be right back, and we'll see you at the next step, how we're going to dry brine our bird. Alright folks, we filled our pot up with the cold water, rinsed our turkey off, pulled it out. Guess what? Our water line was right at that maximum fill level. Imagine that. By the way, that's about 3 gallons. We're going to be using a peanut oil or peanut oil blend. That's best for frying turkeys. So we want to make sure when we fill it up in a couple days, we're not going over that fill line. That'll cover our turkey exactly. Now, it may not cover it completely when you have your turkey submerged, but when it's boiling and everything, it will get the very top cooked. With that being said, now we can talk about how we're going to dry brine our bird. So I've got it on our rack here, so it can be elevated, because we're going to be putting a salt brine on this to pull out those extra juices and moisture so we get extra crispy skin with deep penetrated flavor in the meat itself. Now I'm going to be using a popular rosemary salt blend you can find all over the internet. I got it right here. I've already made it up. So check out this next clip and I'll show you how it's done. Start off by adding some kosher or Maldon salt to your blender or food processor. Next, add some fresh rosemary, fresh sage, grated garlic, and finally some lemon zest. Pulse everything until well combined, and just like that, you've made some delicious rosemary salt. Alright folks, you just saw it's really that easy to make this delicious rosemary salt to dry brine our bird in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and be coating this all over the outside of our bird today. I'm also going to take my hand, go between the skin and the breasts themselves, and get some salt up in there as well to really flavor that meat itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get this coated up real good. We'll come right back and I'll tell you our next steps. Welcome back, folks. Our bird is dry brined in the fridge for a couple days now. We got a lot of moisture poured out of the skin itself. There's probably a cup or so of liquids in the bottom of this pot. But that being said, our next step is to actually take some dry paper towels or a rag, kitchen towel, and wipe off this excess rosemary salt. You don't want to leave too much of that on there because it will burn when you're frying it. So we're going to wipe this off, clean it up, get as much off as possible. You don't have to get every last speck and bit, obviously. But let me get this cleaned up. We'll come right back and talk about frying this bird. Alright folks, we got our excess rosemary salt removed from our turkey. It's ready to go. I got 99% of it. Obviously, like I said, you can leave a little bit. Take your time though. Get between the cracks and crevices of the wings and the legs. Really get those chunks of rosemary salt out because that will burn in the oil. With that being said, I've gone ahead and placed our turkey on my stand. Now, I'm using a stand today, legs down, because the dark meat of the turkey can cook a little longer and a little hotter. The hottest part of your oil is going to be the bottom of the pot where the flame is, right? So legs down, breast up, you know, that's the way we like to cook our turkeys. So, I thought I was going to say something else, didn't you? I've gone ahead and placed it on here. We're going to let the excess moisture drain out of the cavity while we go outside and heat our oil up. Now, today I'm going to be using a peanut blend of oil, just something about 3 gallons or so. Like I said, I'm going to fill my pot just below that maximum fill level line, like the other day when we measured it with water. That's where we need to go. It'll cover the bird and get it all cooked. Make sure you don't skip that step at home. So we're going to get our oil up to temperature. We're going to start out at 375, 380 degrees, and we're going to drop our turkey in. Now, before you drop your turkey in, kill the heat or the flame on your pot, because if it does boil over because you've screwed up and not listened to what I said, it won't cause a fire if it boils over. But if you got flame going, boom, you're in for a world of hurt. So turn the heat off, drop the turkey in. The oil will drop temperature really quick because this is going to be a little cold, but that's also why we got this hanging out for a few minutes to kind of come up to room temperature before we drop it in. So once your turkey's in, everything's going good, then reignite your flame and bring that temperature back up to anywhere between 350, 375. Now, for an 8 to 10 pound bird, you're going to cook this 3 minutes a pound. For 10 to 12 minutes, about 3.5 minutes a pound, anywhere from 12 to 14, up to 4 minutes per pound. This turkey here today is just over 12 pounds, which would be about 42, 43 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and call it 45, make it nice and simple. I will check it with a thermometer at the end to make sure the breast meat is at 165, and we want our dark meat about 175, just like chicken, folks. So let me go outside, get the oil up to temperature. We'll go through the process, and we'll come right back after it's all cooked, said and done, carve this bad boy up and see how we did. Alright folks, we battled the cold and the wind today. I ended up adding about 10 more minutes to my total cook time. It just wasn't quite up to temperature. I did use a thermometer to probe it. But we finally got it. 165 degrees on the breast, about 175 on that dark meat. It is looking good. I don't have a fancy platter to plate this up on, but I'm going to let this finish resting for about 10, 15 more minutes. We'll carve it up, come right back, give it a taste test, and see how we did. It's deep fried turkey time, folks. Alright folks, it is finally time. We have 2.5 days of dry brining, almost 2 hours of oil heating up temperature. It was so cold out there today. 45 to 55 minutes of cook time, 15, 20 minutes of resting. We're finally here. We're ready to dig in. I made it look as good as I can. I'm not a professional carver by any means. I just kept the dark meat pretty whole, took my breasts, sliced them up. It's looking divine. Let's dig in. We'll start with a piece of breast meat, which is typically dry if you oven bake it. I'm not a white meat fan, but let's see how ours turned out today. Got a nice little piece here. Nice and juicy, folks. I may just be a converted fan because when you deep fry a turkey, even the white meat is juicy and delicious. We absolutely nailed that white meat, folks. Dark meat is where it's at. It is my favorite. I'm gonna go in caveman style here. We got a big leg. Let's pull it out of here. We're doing my nice looking plating. Look at that thing, folks. I'm just gonna dig right in, animal style. That is hands down the best turkey leg I've ever had in my life. That rosemary salt dry brine we put on there really penetrated the meat. Such great flavor. Just a hint of saltiness. Absolutely perfect. Let me get a piece of this skin. The angels are singing today, folks. This is absolutely amazing. But you know what? You're just taking my word for it. How about we call in the official Grub on Grub taste tester and see what he has to say? Come on over. All right. How about start out with a piece of white meat? All right. What do you think?
It's so juicy.
Is it good? Now, you're like me. We both like dark meat, right?
Yes.
How about you dig in, caveman? Oh, look at the smile on that. Look at those eyes. Oh, man. Here we go. Dig in. All right. Well, you saw the look in his eyes. I thought he was about to eat my hand there for a second. What do you think of the leg?
It's so good. Never eat oven baked turkey again. Eat deep fried turkey.
All right, we obviously didn't rehearse that one at all, but thanks very much, my official taste tester, Grub on Grub taste tester. We're ready to dig into this meal. Let me wrap this up real quick, folks. All right, folks, it's really that simple. We didn't burn our house down today. All you got to do is use that water method. Measure how much oil you need to use in your pot. Don't fill it over the overfill line. They pretty much make it foolproof, but yeah, every year people manage to set themselves on fire or their house or their decks. Don't do it on a wooden deck either. Make sure you do it out on a concrete driveway. Even if you do have an accident, you're probably going to be all right. Keep a fire extinguisher nearby. But that being said, folks, we dry brined our turkey for 3 days. It took a couple hours to get the oil up to temperature, but hey, that's weather for you. It's going to change every time you do it. We got it cooked off 8 to 10 pounds, 3 minutes a pound, 10 to 12 pounds, 3.5 minutes, and 12 to 14 go about 4 minutes per pound. Just use a thermometer and measure it, folks. Once that breast meat hits about 160 degrees or so, you can go ahead and pull it out. You're going to have some carryover cooking. You get up to 165. The thighs should be there if they're down in the bottom of the pot. It's really that simple, folks. Be sure to check out my website, www.grubongrub.com. You can find a plethora of Thanksgiving side dishes you can pair with this deep fried turkey. You're going to be eating good, folks. There's sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. You know, it's all there, folks. Stuffing, whatever you want to be, you can find on there. Yeah, whatever. I don't even know the words to say it, folks. It's on there. Check it out. Be sure to click those links. Hit that like button, folks, if you enjoyed today's video. Did I make deep frying turkey seem safe and easy enough? I think so. Leave a comment below if you've deep fried a turkey before or what you think. Is oven baked turkey good? I don't think so. To me, it's dry and miserable, but deep fried, it's always delicious. But other than that, it has been a pleasure cooking for you once again. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Get out there, deep fry a bird. Don't burn your house down. Get together with your friends and family and have a good old time. Until next time, folks, Mike here signing off. Just keep cooking.